Okay, but seriously, is it just me, or does the soul sound like one of those mystery boxes you can never quite open?
I know, right? Every time I think I've wrapped my head around what Krishna is saying, there's a whole layer underneath.
Belor, we're about to dig into what makes the soul so elusive and why that actually brings peace, apparently.
Hang on while we get everything set up for today's journey into the unknown. Be right back. Welcome back. Today we're tackling two verses that get right to the heart of uncertainty.
Which feels very relevant right now. The world feels full of it.
It does, and Krishna's guidance here is profound. By the end of our session, the goal is to see how embracing life's mysterious, cyclical nature can actually become a source of profound peace, not anxiety.
Okay, turning anxiety into peace. I'm in. So where does Krishna start?
He starts with a cosmic perspective shift in verse 2.28. It goes, "All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation?"
Unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest. It sounds like life is just a brief appearance between two states of invisibility.
That's a perfect way to put it. Think of it like a wave in the ocean. Before it rises, it's unmanifest, just part of the great potential of the water. Then it becomes manifest, a distinct, visible wave for a short time.
And then it crashes on the shore and goes back to being just water, unmanifest again.
Exactly. Krishna is telling Arjuna and us that all material forms, our bodies, our projects, our relationships, follow this pattern. They emerge from an unseen state, exist for a while, and return to an unseen state. The form is temporary.
So his big question at the end, what need is there for lamentation, is basically saying, why grieve over a natural, inevitable process?
Precisely. He's building on everything we've discussed in the past few weeks. Remember, we established the soul is eternal, unborn, undying. It just changes bodies like we change clothes.
Right, the eternal wardrobe metaphor. So this verse is about the clothes, the body. The clothes are made, they're worn, and then they're put away, or unmanifested.
Yes, and our grief, our anxiety, often comes from being attached to the clothes, to the temporary, manifest form. We forget that the wearer, the soul, is untouched by this cycle.
But it's hard not to be attached. When something manifest, a person, a job, a pet, is gone, the loss feels so absolute. It feels like an ending, not a transition back to unmanifest.
It does, and that pain is real. Krishna isn't dismissing the pain. He's offering a framework to hold it. The pain comes from attachment to the form, the illusion that the manifest state is the only reality. The wisdom is in shifting our focus from the transient form to the eternal nature that underlies it.
So it's about recognizing that the beginning and end are just bookends to a story, but not the whole library.
What a beautiful analogy. Yes, our lives are the stories being read, but the library of potential, the unmanifest, is infinite.
Let's make this more concrete. Let's do a small practice. I want you to think of something in your own life, not as immense as birth and death, but something that followed this cycle. Unmanifest to manifest and back again.
Okay. I guess a project at work? Before we started, it was just an idea, a concept in a document. That would be unmanifest.
Perfect. So that's the beginning. What happened next?
Well, then we worked on it for months. It was a real, tangible thing. It had a team, a budget, weekly meetings. It was very, very manifest. It took up all my energy.
And after it was completed? After the final report was sent?
It just ended. The team disbanded, the meetings stopped. It's now a file on a server somewhere. It went back to being an idea, I guess. Back to unmanifest.
See? You just observed the entire cycle. Now, how did you feel when it ended?
A little sad, actually. A bit of a letdown. We put so much into it, and then poof, it was just over.
That feeling, that little bit of grief or lamentation, is what Krishna is talking about. It's attachment to the manifest form of the project. But by seeing it as a natural cycle, we can appreciate the intervening formation, the manifest period, without being shattered when it concludes.
That makes sense. It's about appreciating the process, the manifest part, for what it was, and then letting it go. It's not an end, just a completion of a cycle.
You've got it. And just when Arjuna might be thinking, okay, I get the cycle, but what is this soul really? Krishna adds another layer of complexity and beauty in verse 2.29.
Okay, I'm muddy.
He says, one sees this soul as amazing, another speaks of it as amazing, and another hears of it as amazing, while another, even after hearing about it, cannot understand it at all.
So basically, the soul is this incredible, wondrous thing, but hardly anyone actually gets it, even if they hear or talk about it?
That's the essence of it. He's saying the soul is so subtle, so different from anything in our material experience, that it's fundamentally a mystery. The word used is ascharyavat, which means like a wonder or astonishing.
I feel that. We've been talking about it for weeks, and I feel like I'm getting closer, but if you asked me to draw a picture of it, I'd have no idea where to start.
And that's Krishna's point. The mind, our intellect, which is designed to understand the manifest world, struggles to grasp the unmanifest and eternal. The verse points to different levels of engagement: hearing about it, like we're doing now; speaking about it, which deepens understanding; and finally, seeing it, which implies direct, personal realization.
But even with all that, some people still don't understand it at all. Why is it so hard to comprehend?
One commentary puts it beautifully. It's due to a gross material conception of things. We're so used to defining reality by what our five senses can perceive, the manifest world, that the concept of something permanent, subtle, and unseen feels unreal.
Okay, but if it's so incomprehensible, doesn't that just create more uncertainty and anxiety? Not knowing feels unsettling.
That's the paradox, isn't it? Our modern world tells us to solve every mystery, to have all the data. But Krishna suggests the opposite. The path to peace isn't in intellectually conquering the mystery, but in learning to sit with it in a state of wonder.
So instead of being frustrated that I can't fully get it, I should just be amazed by the idea itself.
Yes, embrace the not knowing. The verse invites us to shift from a need for answers to a state of appreciation. True peace comes from accepting that some truths are experienced, not explained. It's about cultivating curiosity and gratitude for a reality that is grander than our minds can hold.
That actually feels freeing. Like I can let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. It's okay that it's a wonder.
It is more than okay. It's the path. The journey of inquiry itself, the act of hearing and speaking about it, changes you. Even without full comprehension, simply contemplating this wonder shifts your perspective and grounds you in something beyond the daily churn of manifest-unmanifest cycles.
So, combining the two verses, we shouldn't grieve because life is a natural cycle of appearing and disappearing, and we should find peace in the amazing mystery of the part of us that doesn't disappear at all.
That's the core teaching. That's the formula for finding peace in uncertainty. All right, let's bring this all together. What are the key takeaways for you today?
First, the idea of unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest. Seeing everything, from a project to life itself, as a temporary appearance from and return to a state of potential. It reframes endings as transitions, not tragedies.
Excellent. And the second part?
That the soul is a wonder, and that's okay.
The goal isn't to solve the mystery, but to appreciate it. That embracing the incomprehensible is actually a source of peace, not stress.
Perfectly summarized. So for our practice this week, I have 2 simple invitations for you and for everyone listening.
Okay, I'm ready.
First, become a cycle spotter. Just like you did with your work project, notice the small and large unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest cycles around you. A conversation, a meal, a day. Just observe without judgment. See how everything is in this constant natural flow.
I can do that. It sounds like a very mindful practice.
It is. And second, find a moment to sit with a question you can't answer. It could be about the soul or the universe or anything you don't understand. Instead of rushing to find an answer, just hold the question. Feel the wonder in it. Let the mystery be enough.
Sit with the wonder. I like that. Thank you. This was, well, amazing.
The wonder is always there, waiting for us to notice. Until next time.